Welcome to the spine chilling stories, where you hear true horror stories around the world that are both creepy and chilling. So let's dive in. The legend of La Llorona, the weeping lady. Centuries ago, in the colonial era Mexico, there lived a beautiful woman named Maria, born into poverty. She was admired by many but looked down upon by the wealthy light. One day, a Spanish nobleman, wealthy, charming, and powerful, fell in love with her beauty and promised her the life of a comfort. They had two children together, both of them boys, but he refused to marry her and eventually left her for a woman of his own class. Maria, consumed by the rage, heartbreak, and despair, took her children to the river, and in a fit of madness and sorrow, she drowned them with her own hands, then immediately regretted it. Stricken with grief and regret, she tried to relive them, tried to revive them, doing whatever she can, but it was too late. The boys were dead. She wandered the river banks, wailing, crying, just saying one sentence. Oh, my children! Oh, my children! The church refused to bury her in sacred ground. After she was drowned with sorrow and regret, she drowned herself, committed a suicide. The church refused to bury her in the sacred ground, and so her soul was condemned to wander eternity, searching for the children she lost, both in life and in death. To this day, La Llorona is said to haunt the rivers of Mexico, lakes, and canals, particularly at night. Under the moonlight, witnesses describe her as a tall woman, dressed in long, flowing white gown, often with long black hair covering her face. She weeps as she walks, crying, repeating her cry for children. Oh, my children! Oh, my children! Her voice said to start softly, then grow louder as she approaches. Those who see her often report an overwhelming sense of dread and coldness and sadness. Some say she appears to be searching. Others say that she blames the living for her pain and tries to take their children. The legend of La Llorona is not confirmed to one place. She has been seen and heard across Mexico and even throughout Latin America and parts of US Southwest. In the floating gardens and canals, night watchers have reported hearing soft cries in the mist, followed by the sightings of a white figure walking on the water. Standing at the edge of canal, locals say not to speak or wrestle at night, or you might draw her attention. In the rural areas, families teach children to stay away from rivers after dark. One grandmother claimed she saw a woman in white on the riverbank, only to realize her feet were not touching the ground. The next day, a boy from the village went missing. A man driving near a strong, swallowed river late one night saw a woman drenched in a white dress standing in the middle of road. He stopped for help, only for her to vanish in the mist she approached. Later, he learned a young boy had drowned there just days earlier. But her story, La Llorona, is one of the most saddest and depressing tales of a madness for love and heartbreak. It always says when you go to Mexico, La Llorona's tale is often told as warning to children. Don't wander off near water. Be good, or La Llorona will take you. But her story also speaks to deeper, more tragic themes of grief, betrayal, and maternal sorrow. She's both a monster and a victim, condemned for her crime yet pitied for internal suffering. In some versions, La Llorona is not always malevolent. Sometimes she's merely seeking peace or hoping to protect others from the fate she given her own. La Llorona has become a cultural icon in Mexico, and beyond her story inspired many things. La Llorona's weeping has echoed for generations, whether it's a fairy tale, a restless spirit, or a shadow of a collective guilt and grief. She continues to haunt the imaginations of millions. Wherever water runs deep, shadows falls, she walks, and then she cries, "Oh, my children! Oh, my children!" Here are some of the recent encounters that the people have witnessed with the legend of La Llorona. It was past midnight when Sophia, a young university student, boarded a late night boat on the canals of the New Mexico side. With two friends, they were filming a ghost hunting video for fun. As the boat drifted under the weeping trees, Sophia suddenly paused. "Did you hear that?" A woman crying loudly. Long sobs, drawn out sobs that echo off the water. At first, they assume it was someone nearby, but the boatman paled. "It is her," he muttered. "Don't speak. Don't look back. It's her." The weeping got louder and closer. Uh, the boat stopped suddenly, caught on something unseen. Sophia turned to see a woman in a long white dress, standing ankle deep in water ahead. Her hair hung over her face, soaked and black. She swayed slightly, weeping softly. "Oh, my children." When they called out, the figure lifted her head, but she had no eyes, only black, hollow sockets, streaming water. The lights on the boat exploded, plunging them into darkness. One of Sophia's friends, Louis, panicked and jumped into the water. They screamed for him to come back, but he disappeared beneath the surface without a splash. When rescuers arrived, they found no trace of him, except for a tiny wet footprints leading from the shore into the trees. Sophia, shaking, was taken to the hospital in shock, and she hasn't spoke since. Weeks later, a family living nearby a canal in the Puebla heard her crying outside their home at 2 a.m. The father, believing it to be a neighbor, looked out to the window and he saw a woman in white holding a small limp bundle. When he stepped outside to comfort her, she vanished. In her place, a child's toy, wet and old, resting in the puddle. A retired police officer once told his grandson that when he investigated a canal drownings in 1980s, the witnesses always said they heard La Llorona before someone vanished. And then he warns, and if she looks at you, you will see your own child's face in her arms before she drags you under the water of the lake. The grandson laughed it off until he saw his own face in the bundle she carried during the dream. That same week, his daughter nearly drowned in the family pool. La Llorona is not bound by the time or place. Her wails have been heard from the rivers, canals, highways, and even bathrooms whenever the grief and the water meet. People say she still searches, not just for her lost children, but also for yours. So be careful whenever you go near the lake and protect and cherish your child. Because once La Llorona sees you, she won't leave you alone until she take your child. For more stories like this, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching the spine chilling stories.